Do you want to make more music?
Yes!
Do you want to get more DJ gigs?
Yes!
Do you want to make more social media content but struggle?
Yes!
Do you want to spend less time making that content?
Yes!
In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make 100 pieces of social media content as a DJ producer in one day and give you so much more time to make more music. So strap them on and let's go. One of the biggest questions I always get asked is how often should you post on Instagram as a DJ and a producer? I spoke the other week about building up our content muscles in my content gym, just like you would do in the real gym. You don't go from being flabby to ripped or running nothing to fast or even a long way. You have to build up the muscles. And the same comes when you're making content. You build up your content muscles and it gets better and better. Today, I'm going to show you how to make enough content to flood your social media for the next 2 months. And I don't just mean Instagram, I mean YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, SoundCloud, Beatport, all in one day. But gee, how do we do this, I hear you ask? The key to making content is make big, long content first. You may have noticed with this channel, I cut this channel up and it goes on my shorts. You may have noticed my Twitch streams, it goes on my TikTok because I've got lots of long content. And what that does is it helps bring a new audience into my longer videos and my longer content. And welcome anyone that's joined me recently. As I said, the same goes for my Twitch interviews. I do them every Wednesday on my Twitch channel. And what happens with them is they're 2 hours long. And that gives me 2 hours of content I can cut up and put on my TikTok channel. When we think of content, how many of you just think of Instagram and what could be posted on their next reel? When I think of content, we're thinking about trying to cover every surface of a platform and get the most out of a platform. And this could be short form, it could be long form, it could be posts, it could be captions, it could be stories, it could be live. There are so many options for making content these days. So for you, my fine friends, that is what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about big content and make it go across lots of channels. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with our long form content first. To make this content, we're going to need some cool tools. And one of them is called OBS Project. And it's a free program. Download it for your computer. Also, you'll need a tripod or a stack of books. Some other good free apps are called CapCut, InShot, Canva. These are all banging and I'll put the links below. Then our long content is going to be you DJing. So set up those decks. What I want you to do is I want you to plan 2 DJ sets. And I say plan because we want to make sure the tracks in them do certain things for you, i.e. promotion, because you might want to network with these tracks. You might want to network with the clips you're using. So any labels that you want to get on, think about the tracks you might play because the clips you're going to make from them could be open up the networking channels. These pieces of content could be strategic as well as sounding good and being fun. We also don't want to use time badly by heading off in a wayward direction that isn't going to help this mix go forward. Remember, we are on the clock. You can have fun as a mix afterwards because why not? The decks are already set up. So plan out 2 60-minute mixes. And a good mix should have a start, a middle and an end. Okay, you're going to go and make those mixes and we want the audio and the video. So like I said, use OBS at home, have a home setup, set the camera into it, set the audio from your decks into it, and record those 2 mixes. If you don't have that option, Pirate Studios here in the UK is a great place, and I'm sure there are other places like that across the world. Those 2 times 1 hour mixes are going to serve as the base for a load of our content. Now we have those 2 pieces of content, we're going to upload them to YouTube, and we're going to schedule them separately apart. One's going to go first, and then another maybe 3 or 4 weeks later. For the next 4 pieces of content, we're going to strip the audio off and they're going to go on SoundCloud and Mixcloud as around the mixes. But that's going to give us another 4 pieces of content. Now, you don't want to put them out all at the same time. You want to space them out. Well, as I said, it could be 1 a month, or if you wanted to, it could be 1 every 2 weeks, depending on your own time and facilities. Let's say you do 1 a month. You could upload the video now, and then you could upload the audio a week after to kind of help push the video. Or you could upload all 3 together and push it out on 3 platforms all at once. And then the second one you do a month later. We're then going to take our hour-long videos and we're going to edit that into 20 clips. 10 of the transitions and 10 of the biggest moments of the tracks. And we want to get those as portrait videos as well. If you've really got the facilities, you could record multiple camera angles whilst you're filming it so that you can have different kind of clips from different angles. If you don't, then what you could do is after the mix, you could go back in and record hand clips fake with a camera like that. So you're mixing the decks and the same tracks because you've already mixed them and making clips from different angles. And that will then give you 10 to 30 more content that you didn't have by taking that little extra time. Now we're going to 4x that content because what we're going to do is we're going to put it on Instagram Reels, we're going to put it on TikTok, we're going to put it on Facebook Reels, and we're going to put it on YouTube Shorts. And that's going to either drive attention to the YouTube video or the SoundCloud and Mixcloud mixes. What you're going to need to do is optimize those videos for each of the platforms. This might take a little bit longer, but not as long as it is going to take making brand new content. When I say optimize, this means use some of the inbuilt platform tools for each of those platforms. So whether it's the titles from Instagram, the titles from TikTok, adding a subscribe button in YouTube Shorts, adding covers to really emphasize the piece of content when people see it on your feed, making sure you fill out the captions right for each of the platforms. Instagram, you can have a bit more. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube Shorts has got a shorter caption. So thinking about those little nuances for each platform, it really helps with that piece of content. And that is going to give us 80 pieces of content from those short form pieces of content. And you can put this content out for the next few months. You're going to drip feed it one a day, one every couple of days over the next few months. And it's going to give you all the content you need from just these 2 mixes. And then you're not going to have to worry about content. You can get on with making more music. Your content is sorted. Okay, so all that content's now scheduled and it's ready to go out. But it's going to look a little bit samey. And you're going to get people that get a bit, I've seen that piece of content. So you're going to need stuff in between it. And you're going to want to mix up the Instagram and Facebook and YouTube surfaces. YouTube has YouTube community. So you could use polls and questions on your community tab. And that's going to help with different pieces of content. What you could do is you can make a beatport or track source chart of the tracks that you've used in the mix. Again, you can make 2 of these across those 2 platforms. And again, you could put them out around the mixes being uploaded to help support driving people back to the mix from those platforms. And if you don't know how to make a beatport chart or track source chart, let me know in the comments because I might make a video on it. If it's going to help you, I'll happily do it. From those 2 charts, you could use a website called Clipper, KLIPR.video. And again, I'll put the link below. What that website does is it turns your beatport or track source links into small videos of the tracks. I'd personally use the 30-second video because I think it's enough for people to get a vibe of the track. And I don't use all the options that Clipper offers. I just use the plain artwork because people can just listen to it and swipe. And then what I would do with that is I'd turn that into a carousel post on Instagram of the 10 tracks maybe in this mix, or split. Again, you could split them up. You could do 5 and then a week later, you could do another 5. Don't forget in the caption to ask which your favorite tracks are as a call to action to get people engaged with those posts. Instagram carousels are really good for engaging your current fan base. So using them as a mix between your Instagram Reels is really going to help that reach on Instagram. Again, you could use a track a day on Facebook because it's going to give you more content, more posts on that platform. And again, with Facebook, you can schedule all that and just sit and do it, a couple of hours, bosh, all taken care of. Whilst you're in the filming mode, you could actually film some other top 5 content with the tracks you've used again in the mix, like my course member Pee-wee does in a 5-style chart format. And again, you could share those on TikTok, Reels, Shorts, like he's done. When I spoke to him in my interview, which again I'll link to below, he was telling me that he's been making these every day. And this has opened up his networking to some of the labels that he wants to work with because they've started commenting. At the same time as you're in the filming mode, you could record 8 videos of you talking to camera, introducing the 2 mixes on YouTube and introducing the 2 uploads to SoundCloud and Mixcloud. That's going to give you 8 pieces of content. Again, you're going to upload that to Instagram, TikTok, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts. But again, space that out. So you're starting to get this kind of build of content over the next 30 to 60 days because different people are going to be online at different times. They're going to see different pieces. So you're not going to get all the same audience seeing the pieces of content. Have you downloaded my Instagram 2023 guide for making content? If you haven't, I'm going to link that in the comments below as well. It basically gives you loads of tips on how to use Instagram as a platform, but it also gives you loads of ideas for content for DJs and producers. And each month I drop a brand new bunch of content ideas on my Instagram for a monthly kind of ideas for content. The other things you can do with your mixed content, you could make a carousel of 10 of the tracks or 10 of the transitions as another piece of content for carousels. And again, carousels open it up to your current fan base. And again, you could put in the caption, which ones do you like? And finally, you could turn all the tracks into a Spotify playlist placing a new piece of content on a different platform to again push to the original videos and just give you more content across those platforms. Of course, all of these mixes and playlists and content is going to need some artwork, and I'll definitely be firing up Canva to make that content. Bring some of your own branding to the table and really tie it all in together, some key branding. And this would give you other content to share along the way, whether it's on stories, whether you go live on Instagram Live to announce this stuff happening. And the other things you could also throw in is tweeting the videos and stuff going out. This is all going to up the tally to over 100 pieces of content. So let's do a recap. We've got 2 1-hour DJ mixes, 2 times YouTube videos, 2 times SoundCloud mixes, 2 times Mixcloud mixes, 10 drop videos, 10 transition videos, 80 short form YouTube Reels, Facebook Reels and TikToks, 10 times tracks from on a Beatport chart, 10 times tracks on a track source chart, 5 big tracks from the quick mix, 2 carousels of the 10 tracks videos, 2 face cameras announcing on YouTube, 2 face camera announcing on SoundCloud mixes, 2 face camera announcing Mixcloud mixes, 1 carousel of the tracks downloaded from using Clipper, and 1 Spotify playlist. And we've smashed that 100. I want to say a big thanks to everyone that's hit the subscribe button recently. Remember at the beginning of the year, we were on 74%, and we're now down to 68% of people that watch these videos are now subscribed. So if you've got something out of this video and you found it useful, firstly, leave me a comment and hit the subscribe because it really helps me grow this channel and it's going to help me make you better videos. Do you want a hack to get more music signed? You need to watch last week's video on how to get signed at any label. And if you want to play at festivals this summer, in the next video, I'm going to be talking about how to go from your couch to festival stage. You don't want to miss that one. It's going to be a killer. Thank you again for watching this week. I have been Grahame Farmer, and I will see you in the next video. Cheerio. Bye-bye.